exciting. Look at my new house I have to play with. Oh gosh, okay, it's not really my house, okay, but I get to live here rather inexpensively, provided I make it pretty. So look what we get to start with. Oh my gosh, yes, it is the subfloor. Alrighty, and you know, can't really afford carpet or tile or anything like that, or hardwood, or, you know, so just means we're gonna have to get a little creative and resourceful. Alrighty, so I do like a challenge, so this is gonna be fabulous. Okay, so what we're gonna do is get started. Rip up the carpet tacks, okay? Let's put on some knee pads, and then I'm gonna run all over this room, and I'm gonna pound in all the nail heads. Perfect. Sink them a little bit into the floor. Okay, and that's gonna take some whacking. So let's get started. Before I go any farther, what we have to do is get the paint up off the floor. Okay, we've got a little wallpaper or some glue or something stuck over in the corner. So I'm gonna sand that off. Okay. Alrighty, so I borrowed this. Otherwise you know it'd be pink. Alright, but it'll work pretty fabulous. I'm really grateful to have this tool. Okay, so let's get sanding. So we've got the pounding done. That was a good time. Alrighty, so now what we're ready for is what I call the bump and grind. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be good. Okay, so we've got our grinder, and what we're gonna do is gently touch the floor with it, okay? And maybe a few scrapes here and there. Alright, we're just gonna create some irregular distressing on this floor. Okay, now this is going to be fun. What I've got here is some black texture paste. Essentially, it's real similar to modeling paste. All right, and we're going to put that in the trough. Oh, perfect. Okay, and we're just going to simply take our spatula, put a little bit on here. We're going to spread it on the floor. Alrighty, make sure we get it everywhere. Fabulous, okay? Then what I want you to do is just kind of scrape it. Perfect, so it's nice and thin. Ooh, I love it, it's just so creamy. Imagine if this was chocolate, how much fun we'd be having. Okay, so we're just going to kind of whip this around the room, scrape it into the floor, and we'll have to see what's next. plywood meets up, okay? What I've done is put on a little extra of the modeling paste. So it might get kind of gummed up in the sander, so what we're going to do is go over it with my belt sander. Alright, and just let to get any raised areas where it wasn't thoroughly scraped into the wood. Alright, so we're going to do this all the way around the room and then, ooh, we're going to take out the big sander. Woo, here we go. It is time to break out the big sander. Oh, I think I'm going to like using this vibrating tool. Okay, so I've got it started by putting on some 60 grit sandpaper because we're going to really just plow through this finish. Alright, let's get started. Let's just pressing the button, pulling the throttle and let it roll. Sometimes things aren't as easy as you think. The paper keeps getting gummed up in here. Alright, so much for that idea of pre-sanding the heavy spots and then going over it with a big sander. Okay, my paper's getting gummed up left and right, and this is expensive stuff. Alright, I'm just going to scrape it off and keep going. Yeah. And then scrape it off and keep going again. And then you lose your sandpaper with the big sander. And then it's the modeling paste. It was, things are just not as easy as you think they are. Okay, it's getting a little complicated. I'm tired. All right, but I'm gonna keep going. All right, so it's not pulling it up the way I wanted it to. So I decided, why not just get down on my knees again? Put on those knee pads and climb down on that floor with my hand sander. Perfect. Actually, it worked quite well. Yeah, so just go around the house on my knees one more time. Did I mention this isn't the only room I did? All right, there's like bedrooms and things, and just kind of did the whole house. I did no small task. Okay, so I went around with the hand sander in the whole house. And again, and again, and then I had this nice level finish. Okay, that wasn't cutting it for me either. So then I finally decided, well, why not just pull out that big vibrating sander again? Oh yeah, you can only afford to rent so many machines, right? Okay, so took the big vibrating sander, some heavy grit sandpaper, and then I just kind of sporadically really grind it into the wood, you know, and just kind of plowed in there. Really just made my mark on that floor. Okay, and then I just kind of did it here, and then I did it there, and it was perfect, okay, because what I wanted was an irregular surface. I didn't want, you know, this uniform, perfectly uniform pattern thing going on with the distressing on the floor. I wanted it distressed here, more there, and, you know, lights and lows and highs and lows and all that, and so that's what I did with the big sander in the end, okay? And then you come back in and you touch up the edges with the disc sander. So this is working quite well. Woo! And then it's all a matter of sweeping and sweeping and vacuuming and sweeping and vacuuming and getting all the dust out of here and the rest of the house and off my body and out of my lungs. And okay, and I was wearing a respirator, okay, so that really wasn't such an issue. Okay, then it came time for the polyurethane. Now I thought, well, I could just spread it on, but I really wanted to work it into the surface, so what I did is I got down on my knees again. I really don't mind that. I enjoy being on my knees, actually. So, took the paint roller and I just kind of pushed that polyurethane into the floor, and then I just brushed it down gently. Okay, that was really nice. It just kind of worked it into the surface. Okay, that was perfect. And then, of course, I had to do that with just, you know, it wasn't just one layer, it was 5. Okay, but I did get smart. I decided, well, let's pour it on and spread it in standing position. I thought that was pretty good. I got to stand a few times while I was working on this floor. But all in all, I'd say I'm pretty happy with it. I think we came out with a pretty floor. But it all works in the end, you know? I'm finding, yeah. If you like what I do here, I'd really love it if you'd toss me a tip or something. It's a simple tip for what I do. All right, because what I am is pretty much a one-woman production company doing everything, all of it, and I'm doing it merely for the joy of it. But I can't keep this up without your support. I'm here asking you please for your help. Lots of things to do here, but I'm not going to take my time and effort into building this show around if I don't get your support, so I'm asking you for your help here. So what I've done to make this easy is I've teamed up with patreon.com, and there's, you know, several silly bonuses there, and you know, there's a donate button on my website. So there's different options. So Barbara can put on her hard hat, alrighty, and do the exciting things that she wants to do to this house, and create a silly ass show for you that teaches you a few things.